This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of February 1st, 2021. This is one of those weeks when life catches up with us, or when we personally start to catch up with everything huge that's been going on around us and actually in our psyches below the surface. We're now in the thick of new constructs, building new constructs, committing to new constructs, moving out of the disintegration and deconstruction that has colored the last couple of years and piecing together innovative new networks and new ways that we are now building. This week is huge in that regard, and it gives us multiple moments of wrapping our brains, wrapping our hearts around everything that has been going on. It is, no surprise, a highly active week. We have an opportunity throughout the week to get a handle on toxic masculinity, to get a handle on wounds having to do with having to always be in control or feeling like you can't delegate or being afraid to take charge and act independently. There's a dichotomy this week. Actually, there's a dichotomy for a period of time between being independent, being autonomous, acting for yourself, and finding your place within your greater group. So healing possible on the personal front. Saturn in Aquarius is in an opportunity aspect or sextile to Chiron in Aries for the week. Watch for indications of something for the greater good coming and dealing with aggression run amok. And the sky is moving this week into the pileup of bodies in Aquarius that will characterize a good deal of February. Venus joins the Sun and Mercury and Jupiter and Saturn in that sign on the 1st. This is you gotta have friends territory. Much of our socializing already does take place with technology, with Zoom conferencing, with FaceTime, with social media. Venus moving into that brings an upsurge and a deliberateness and building more and more of a sense of community and network and an appreciation of friends. Venus connects with Saturn on the 6th by the end of the week. And while any direct conjunction with Saturn can bring a sense of limitation and an awareness of distance and obstacles, likely this is going to make us exceedingly aware of what we really value, the friends and networks that really are solid and stand with us. There's also in this an imperative to commit to what you believe in. You'll be getting lots of information as this meeting builds all week with Mercury retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. Groups of friends from the past could come to the fore again, could pop into your dreams, pop into your mind, build networks again using technology. You may hear from people you haven't talked to in a long, long time. You may yourself get in touch with people you haven't talked to for a long, long time and express appreciation in ways that maybe you never have. A Mercury retrograde, besides delaying and basically screwing up a lot of communication, also has the plus side of bringing a lot of old information to light, previously hidden or confused information to light. And this is especially so with Mercury retrograde making a sextile or opportunity aspect to Pluto, keeper of secrets, on the 3rd. This facilitates really deep conversations and disclosures and finding out things that make a lot of things make sense. Deep, candid, focused conversations, information, something really big having to do with, let's just say corruption could come to light with this as well. Everything I've talked about isn't something that is just happening around us or happening to us. we are propelled from the beginning of the week to get going and make things happen. The sun squares Mars in Taurus on the 1st, which sets gigantic cosmic hands in our backs saying, get going, make things real. So to put this in an arc for you, we have enormous motivation to get going on something having to do, or maybe multiple somethings, having to do with money, tangible creativity, dealing with our finances, finding a way to bring an important relationship or connection into something more solid. Then the social mode goes more into friends and collectives and networks, and with a future orientation and using technology more, a good deal of distance and breathing room between people energetically. That would be there even if we weren't in the midst of a pandemic, with people basically staying at great distances from each other. Mercury retrograde, bringing people from the past, bringing information from the past, giving us opportunities to investigate, particularly around the 3rd. So be bold, look to see what the clues are in front of you and what you can rework and redo. By the weekend, knowing that it's time to get serious about things, to commit to what is most important to you, to put some structure onto something having to do with your goals for the future, your social networks, your friends, maybe an organization, maybe even your own creative pursuits. But it's not stodgy. This comes with a demand to do things differently, to be innovative, to get out of the stuff that utterly isn't going to go with you into the future. Venus is squaring Uranus. This brings hearts cracking open, hearts changing, minds changing, breakthroughs coming out of the blue. Entirely likely that some encounter, which could be in your mind, that you have with somebody or some situation from the past, completely opens you in a way that you never thought. The end of the weekend does require a leap of faith in some way. There's a discomfort with something that you can't put your hands on. Mars in Taurus wants its hands on something. The sun is in a semi-sextile to Neptune. You may have to take something on faith, even if your conscious mind is telling you quite differently. You may very well have to confront some way in which you have been fooled or have been fooling yourself. I see people letting go of fantasy memories of love's past, clearing the way for a very different Valentine's Day next week. Homing thought of the week, it's time. Song of the week, Everyday People by Reba McEntire. And the image of the week is a Habitat for Humanity crew building not just a house, but a neighborhood of houses. You'll learn more about all this in my forecast for the month of February, which will be up at my site by the beginning of next week, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list, book a session with me, help yourself to a Uranus in Taurus guide, and listen to my talk about Saturn in Aquarius. Both of those last two are available in the shop. Also, check out my guide to Mercury retrograde at Om Times. I'm Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer with more than 30 years' experience. I host lively discussion on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited and the group The Astro-Insight Lounge. And again, I will say, if you ask for admission to the lounge, it will not be granted unless you say how you found the group. I have lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, and I'm really thankful to the people who are supporting my work there. I post on Instagram at @KABiehl and on YouTube at The Professional Aquarian Channel. Talk to you next week.